Now here comes Kilpatrick, Harris, and Lynn. Scola will stay in at the 4.
So take a look. I think he gets ball first and then arm. Ball and then arm. See what Brooke was upset about.
Okafor, it's the second. It's a 6-point game. Lynn and Lopez not on the same page there.
Well, that's Lynn's fault. You have to make sure your big is set. You can't make it a guessing game for your big on the post. He really controls what happens with you and the basketball. Let him post. If he doesn't, tell him to come out for a pick and roll. But that pass was, you'd have to put that on Jeremy Lin.
Booker into the game for Brooklyn, so now they have their closing 5 as Covington denied inside. Lopez wrestles it away. And now we'll bring it up the floor, the point center.
He really does a good job, though. Doesn't get flustered. Gets to where he wants to.
Lopez on the drive, puts it up and off. His last field goal came with 2:47 to go in the second. Ilyasova posting Harris, has a lot of size on him. Ilyasova banks it up and off. The tip from Okafor, no. And then Lynn is called for a foul or a jump. Looks like there was conflicting opinions from the officials. And it's going to be a foul on Jeremy Lin. Second team foul on Brooklyn. That was, of course, a huge issue in the loss to Orlando when the Magic shot 19 fourth-quarter free throws.
And the shot clock changes too, build him out a little bit.
McConnell accelerates. Lin tied him up, and McConnell stepped out of bounds. Nice defensive play by Jeremy Lin. Philly has a 6-point lead, 5:50 to go in this fourth. This game, you know, Orlando was a big game for that reason. Looking at this schedule, and the Nets were unable to finish that game off. And today they had a 9-point lead in the third quarter, now trail by 6 with 5:45 to go in the fourth. Here's Lin. Squeezing it in, and that's off Philly. But, you know, Donnie, something you pointed out earlier, Lin has been getting a lot of his minutes early in this game with different units off the bench. And then he has to find the rhythm with the normal closing lineup right here after not playing a lot with them throughout the game. Harris, good take.
Great move. This game, more than any that I can really remember for the Nets, at least in the last 5 or 10 games, is really about matchups. You know, when they had the lead, they lost because the matchups just didn't work out for them, and that's because of the minute restriction.
Okafor, Lopez stayed straight up and down. Excellent defense. And the Nets control. Lin using the Booker screen. Gets it to him on the roll. Booker hooks it up. No. And Trevor Booker now 2 of 5 from the floor. Just 5 points and 5 rebounds. Rodriguez. Short, Lin the board. Embiid getting ready to check back in for Philly. In the corner, Harris. Truth.
Awesome.
On a 3. And it's a 1-point game. Joe Harris with 19 off the bench for Brooklyn.
Joe Harris from the Pacific Northwest, the young fella knocking it down.
It's his limit, which we have seen Philadelphia pull him in overtime. Embiid actually kicked a chair one game. He was so upset that he couldn't go back in. Ilyasova with 7 to shoot. Embiid using the jab step. Around and off. Nets with a chance to go in front. This closing 5 on the floor has done the job since coming in. A 7-1 Nets run. Booker. Poor pass to Harris. He swings it to the corner. 8 to shoot. Lopez. Now it's at 5. Lin may have to create. Lopez will pull. Off the mark.
That's a big possession defensively for the Sixers. Covered it pretty darn well. They had a lot of errant passes there. Guys were catching them for the Nets, but better defense there.
Lin had a chance to maybe lean in for a foul there, but gave it up to Lopez, who was open. Rodriguez, the quick crossover, and missed it badly.
Love to see a touch for Brook Lopez down low, or even in that 1-5 high with Lin, but he's going to flatten out towards the corner.
Lin had it jumped by Covington. Nets get a new shot clock. Kilpatrick running the offense. Lin off the ball right now, and some miscommunication. Here comes the screen from Lopez. Kilpatrick finds Booker in the corner. Lopez spinning into the lane, finally gathered himself and finishes his first field goal since 2:47 left in the second quarter. Embiid on a three.
And he walks into it like it's just going to be maybe a ball fake, shot fake, and lets it go. And he really takes his time into those three-point shots.
Jeremy Lin having some troubles here in the fourth. Turns it over, and a last hit him.
Lopez getting it done any way he can. Good screen there by Booker. Second one we've seen in this game. And good hands falling away. Soft touch by Brook.
Rodriguez over to Embiid. Putting it on the deck. Pivoting away. Covington will try the Euro step, no, and a foul.
Take a look at Anthony Davis, but tell you what, he is really special. It's hard to create a new type of player in this league, but we're seeing it in Embiid and a lot in Brook Lopez as well. A guy who can post up, who can shoot threes. Embiid can just put it on the floor a little bit, has a little bit of handle.
Remember before, Donnie, when we kind of talked about triple-double watch with Brook Lopez?
Yeah.
Well, he has 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. He has never had a triple-double. Stagnant. 8 to shoot. Harris trying to create. Does. Booker, run off the line, will float it up and off. Lopez back taps it and keeps it alive for Brooklyn. Lin into the lane. Tried to squeeze it to the corner, knocked out of bounds. And Nets having a little trouble with their spacing right now offensively.
It looked like guys weren't sure what they were in or what they were exactly running. We're giving him 9 rebounds for there?
We do. Harris off on the three. Booker flew in. No whistle. Lin knocks it down from 3. It's a 1-point game as Trevor Booker got away with a mugging. But the all-out effort creates the opportunity for Lin. Embiid back to work. Whistle on the rip-through, side to side, and Lopez has gotten called for that a few times tonight.
Love this with Booker. He does just a great job. Got about as much impulse when it comes to offensive rebounding as a grease fire. He understands, let's go get it. You never know what's going to happen. Reckless abandon, gets away with it.
Sometimes that energy and effort is rewarded like that. Ilyasova on the move. Stripped by Lin, controlled by Brooklyn. Down 1 with the ball. Kilpatrick thought about it. Into the arms of Lopez. Booker trying to create, and he traveled. That time he was hit with the whistle.
I thought Kilpatrick had the matchup with Embiid out top. Would have loved to see them flatten out. Let it be SK time. Let him go to work.
54.2 seconds to go. Philadelphia a 1-point lead. They've led by as many as 8 in the fourth. Nets led by as many as 9 in the third. Embiid has 31. Working Lopez. Lin comes up with the steal. And a 2-for-1 opportunity if the Nets want 2 cracks at it, but they'll try and get a good shot, of course. Lopez being played off. Lin kicks. Booker a 3 is off. And Lin steals it from Embiid. Lin steals the ball. Nets with possession. Kilpatrick can't hit. Embiid the rebound, and he is fouled. The Nets with a golden opportunity there, and Kilpatrick just could not hit the floater.
The shot clock was off, Ryan. Sean didn't need to shoot that. You had 17 seconds. You did all the work. Jeremy Lin snuck in, stole the ball. Now you get into your offense. Didn't need it, because now you're giving.
It's not a bad
Sixers,
look.
It's not, but you think about it, 17.5 seconds when he took that shot. Now what happens? You make it. You give Philly a chance to come down and score, even if, you know, if you don't miss and they get that rebound. That's where I think you missed Jeremy Lin for all those games, to say, okay, let's settle it back down. Jeremy Lin's still trying to feel his way through coming back with his team. But those things will come. You got to understand, shot clock is off. Ball's in your hand.
Nets do have a full complement of timeouts. They can advance this if they want to. Embiid with 32. Make it 33, and it's a 3-point game. Timeout, Brooklyn. Kenny Atkinson going to try and draw something up for the Nets. Down 3. Get whenever there because you're down. And then you have more chances even if you miss, but you don't love the look there for Kilpatrick.
But if you didn't know better, you would never have guessed there was 18 seconds on that shot clock when he took that shot. You would have thought there was 4.
Now he's out of the game here. Bogdanovich is in. Nets do have 2:20s remaining. Philadelphia has a foul to give. Lin, a 3 to tie. Off the mark. Covington the rebound. Fouled by Brooklyn. They got the look they wanted, but Lin, who put so much on himself after not hitting shots down the stretch against Orlando, misfires here.
It's a great play. I mean, just a great play out of a timeout. Good pass. Great delivery. Just off right just a little bit.
And now Covington, an 80% career free throw shooter.
And that's an interesting shot too for the Nets, because we're trying to tie this game. We're not trying to get the quickest shot, make it a 1-point game, foul. Then we want to make a bang play out of this timeout.
Covington hits both. 5-point game, and Kenny Atkinson will use a timeout. The Philadelphia 76ers on the brink of snapping an 82-game losing streak when trailing after 3. The longest mark in NBA history.
At this point, whether it's a 2 or a 3.
Meanwhile, Joel Embiid has been a monster for Philadelphia tonight. A basketball Houdiniac to find a way out of this one. Bogdanovich. The step back 3 is good. It's a 2-point game. Timeout, Philadelphia. That was the bucket that Brooklyn needed to keep breathing. Now they will review this.
Nice sidestep, though.
That's clearly a 3.
Yeah. That's a good, you know, most players think to create space you have to go forward or backward. Bojan does a tremendous job of creating space going sideways, just enough to get that off.
And so now Philadelphia spends a timeout to regroup and communicate. Well, maybe they actually didn't have to spend a timeout, Donnie, because of the review. It looked like Brett Brown had wanted to, but I don't believe he had to because of the review. So they still have 2:20s and a full. And Brett Brown is communicating right now with the officials. And it looks like perhaps now they will take a timeout. That's what they're trying to figure out. Yes. Now they will give Philadelphia a timeout. So that's what Brett Brown
going to happen. So you have to be safe and take that timeout.
Now Tuesday night, the Nets are north of the border for a battle with dynamic scorer DeMar DeRozan and the division-leading Raptors. Coverage starts at 7 with the Verizon Fios Nets pregame. Then Ian Eagle and Jim Spanarco are in Toronto for tip-off. Watch the Nets on Yes and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. So Philadelphia will have 2 timeouts remaining in case they struggle with the inbound. Nets will have to foul, but here is the hope for the Nets. If Philadelphia hits just 1 of 2, they do have a timeout, Brooklyn does, to advance the basketball and try and hit a game-tying 3. First things first, Philly will be inbounding. Nets with Lynn, Kilpatrick, Harris, Hollis Jefferson, and Booker on the floor. And Booker will not guard the inbound. Saric trying to find someone. He'll take a timeout. There was nothing doing. The Nets defended it beautifully. And Philadelphia now with 1 timeout remaining.
Those are tough plays because as a player, you're not counting 1 1,000. You're looking for the open player.
A Fox Sports support team from his inbound defense.
They've run 2 pretty good plays, but the Nets have been all over it. You know, I love the fact that they have switching, they're talking. Doesn't matter who you have, make sure you talk and you switch out on them. Maybe come up with a steal.
Booker, Hollis Jefferson, Kilpatrick, Harris, and Lynn remain out there. Saric to inbound. 5.3 to go. Philadelphia leads by 2. Nets do have 1 timeout remaining. Philly has 1. Saric gets it into Ilyasova, put it on the floor. He's fouled by Harris with 4.6 to go. And Ilyasova, 77% career free throw shooter.
Sometimes those numbers late in the game, Ryan, you know as well as I do. You know, guys could be better shooters late when it's on the line or worse.
Ilyasova gets the first.
Pretty good there.
He's 3 of 3 from the line tonight. Lopez comes in, so does Embiid. On a miss, Brooklyn needs to secure the rebound and take a timeout. If they wanted to, they could just go off and run and try and tie it. But the clock just started running, and you're about 9.9 away from hearing a buzzer. Donnie, you caught that quickly.
Yeah.
Because you all of a sudden gave me the valiant extension of the right arm up to the scoreboard.
There we go.
What doth go on?
With the clock is.
Ilyasova connects. It's a 2-possession game. Timeout Brooklyn, but that may have sealed things for Philadelphia. 108-104 they lead. Nets to go. And at this point, they need someone on Philadelphia to lean into them as they make a 3. Or you need Harris, Lopez, Lynn, Kilpatrick, and Booker are the 5 on the floor for Brooklyn. Harris to get it in. Finds Lynn in the corner. Lynn hits the 3 with 2.5 to go. And now Philadelphia will spend its final timeout. This is not over yet.
And the Sixers are complaining to each other who has him. But just a great play again, out of bounds. I mean, Kenny Atkinson's out of bounds sideline, out of bounds under. They're up there with the top 2 or 3 best in the entire NBA. Really sells his team on getting to their spots, having patience, taking the ball out of bounds on the side. Joe Harris looking off where he's going to pass initially, and the screen by Brook Lopez to get Jeremy Lin open. Just a fantastic play.
Now down 1. The Nets are out of timeouts. And here was the communication afterwards with Embiid. Philadelphia is also out of timeouts, so they have to get this in. Now, should they get it in, you're the Nets, you foul immediately. You wouldn't be able to advance the basketball, but you, in theory, would at least have a heave to tie or win. But maybe you can create a little magic on the inbound. Moments ago, Philadelphia had trouble inbounding the basketball.
Say what you want about lack of wins for the Nets. They play hard. I mean, they make it exciting. This is the start of what you want your reputation, your image, your identity to be for a team. That no matter what happens, we're going to play hard.
Henderson will inbound. Booker will play off it. 2.5 to go. Into the backcourt. It's a loose ball. Harris picks it up. Can he get a shot off? No! That'll do it! A chance at victory lying on the floor. Harris gave it his all but could not gather. And the road woes continue for Brooklyn as they fall in Philadelphia 108 to 108.